Hi everyone. It's me, but this time I have a friend.
Hi.
Except it's not my friend, it's my brother.
Plot twist.
Psych. This is Spencer. He's my triplet brother, for those of you who don't know, but a lot of you met him today, so that was cool. Because, spoiler alert, he went to law school with me today. But that's jumping ahead.
Wait, is this for your law school friends?
This is for Facebook.
I thought this is for mostly people back at home.
Well, yes.
The vast majority of your friends are not here.
Yeah, but it's anyone who cares about my life enough to watch a video.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so he came down to visit and yeah, tell us about why you're here.
I'm here because, well, okay, originally I wasn't supposed to even be visiting her. I was supposed to be going to a concert with a friend, then that fell through. So I was like, second best alternative is, I guess, to hang out with Gabby. So that's where I am. And yeah, but it's really cool to come to Las Vegas and to go from the best weather ever in Boise to like 100-degree weather.
Oh, today the forecast was that it was going to rain, and we were so excited. I was excited. Were you excited?
It got kind of muggy.
That was the most. There was some marginally more cloud cover and mugginess, but there was no rain.
Actually, to be honest, it's really pretty here. It really is.
Yeah, so it's been, what's funny to me is that he came on the weekend, and other people have visited me on the weekend, and the fact is that's like pretty much the worst time to visit me because that's when I'm getting ready for the week with readings. So fortunately he brought a book and like had some stuff to work on, so he was able to do that while I just kind of tried not to ignore him, but I was like...
And honestly, like, it's not like we've done anything that fun. It's pretty much just been me, like, coming here and seeing what she does on a normal day at law school, which has included going to class and going to study group with her and her, like, all-star team of people.
Shout out to the study group.
It's a cool study group. Then I met the people at law school, and I realized that her study group is still really cool, even compared to them. So I like them. I hope that doesn't offend anyone. There's other law school people here.
Well, we don't know what cool is an ambiguous term that we haven't defined, so it's fine.
Red nose intentionally so. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, a lot of what we did like for fun was mostly revolved around finding cool places to eat, which I'm appreciative of him for buying me lots of meals. We tried this
It was a weird name. It was I think it was Japanese. It was Japanese. Yes.
We go there, they have all these like rolls that we're gonna try because we haven't had very much ethnic food in our
Nothing ethnic.
So we tried this thing called, what was yours called, like Pacific
Sunrise.
That was it.
Pacific Paradise Sunrise. No.
Paradise.
It was some
right.
Permutation of those words.
Yeah, it had Pacific, Paradise, and Sunrise in it probably. But it was really good. It had like cream cheese and breaded shrimp.
Sounds bad when you say bread. I can't take a piece of bread. I know that's a normal phrase, but that's
what would you call it?
It was coconut. It was fried coconut.
Okay, that does sound better. But then I got, because we were gonna like order different things and then split it or share it. Hi Jesse. You messaged me. Thanks.
That's my guy.
That's your guy. We love you, Jesse. So I got this thing called like Japanese lasagna, basically. And it was same principle of like cream cheese and meat, except it was
all the same ingredients.
Yeah.
It sounds like a great plan.
It sounded really good, but instead it was like baked.
Well, no. We didn't know that. First, it came in this, like...
Tinfoil.
Yeah, tinfoil.
Wrapping.
Yeah.
And they're like, here you go. They drop it. We're like, okay. So we start like peeling the tinfoil.
It was like sticking to the tinfoil.
Yeah,
like, oh.
off.
Yeah.
And then we like cut into it, and it's like got this weird jiggly consistency that probably was supposed to have.
It's what people tell you, like, what the consistency of like a brain is. Where it's like...
Who tells you that?
Anatomy, physiology, life. Anyways, they're like, it's just like tapioca or something. Mm-hmm. But this was like warm tapioca.
Yeah.
Like everything was the same texture, even though it like should have been not.
Yeah.
But it was
It was the kind of thing that it tasted good, but it made me feel weird. Did you like get that impression?
it did get that a little bit. It feels weird.
Yeah. But the other thing was really good.
Yeah.
So we did that, and then we tried this other place that was called the freshest fresh fresh tomato.
No, that was not. That was.
What was it called then?
Sweet tomato.
Sweet tomato. You're right. And neither of us are huge tomato fans, so we kind of thought, oh, this won't be that good. But we're like, it's such a funny concept, like a tomato restaurant. We have to go there, even though we probably will hate it. And that was like kind of the fun of it was anticipating how much we were going to hate this restaurant because it was just going to be tomatoes. We're going to go, we're going to look at the menu, be like, ugh, tomatoes. We're going to order something anyway and then eat it anyway. And then kind of like walk away still with that sort of feeling of regret.
I
Like,
really
why
wanted
did I
to
do
order
that?
something and be like, can I have this? Just without the tomatoes and just make a big deal about it.
Yeah. There was no opportunity for it because you didn't order. It was like this buffet, all you can eat, self-serve buffet thing, and it was the most like home style ish thing. Is that the right term?
Yeah.
Home style. Where it's like this whole salad bar and then all these various soups and then like pizza and focaccia bread and muffins and brownies and cornbread muffins.
Cornbread muffins?
There were cornbread muffins.
I missed the cornbread.
They were
I
good.
did, but what I did not miss was that at Cafe Rio, instead of giving, somehow they
How
slipped
are you
in.
jumping all the way to Cafe Rio? We're still on the tomato place. Fine, talk about
Yeah, okay, apparently in Las Vegas they give you corn tortillas that are like
as
camouflaged
the default.
as the default, but they're like disguised as flour tortillas, where I'm like, that's just a slightly discolored flour tortilla. That's what I thought. Like it had some sort of like rare skin disease where it was slightly discolored, but it was for the tortilla. Not
What?
everything I say is that awkward. You know?
It's not awkward. It's just unexpected.
Yeah. Anyways, it wasn't nearly as good because like somehow the corn flavor distracted a lot from the sweet pork. Yeah, but the tomato place though,
It was amazing. They gave us complimentary. They gave us complimentary bags of cookies because it was our first time being at this place. So that was a highlight.
Would it be funny to like go back and be like, we brought you cookies because of your service?
I guess that would be so funny. So then, one of the guys in my study group, who's a native Las Vegas resident, Andre. Shout out to Andre, not my Andre, but my law school Andre, is Andre Labonte.
You're just like a professor today.
You're gonna pronounce it.
Yeah.
Labonte. It's Andre Labonte. And so he recommended this place called Comex Fusion. Was that what it was called?
Comex Fusion.
Yeah,
Yes.
which is Korean Mexican fused.
And American.
Yeah,
Yes.
there were fries. So yeah,
It said that on the side too.
I missed it. But that was like the best place. That was so
It's
good.
really good.
We had sliders that.
Specifically the sliders, the beef sliders.
It's like carne asada with.
But it was like Korean carne asada on a
It was-
burger.
It was really good.
Yeah.
So, just talked about food for most of this vlog. Tell them about law school. Tell them what you thought about law school.
Oh, law school. Yeah.
You had them on
so,
two of my classes, torts and civil procedure.
Yeah, we
Civ
started.
Pro.
Okay, so we started with Civ Pro, and I'd heard people talk about like what their favorite class is all week, and people would often say they're like, "Oh, it was Civ Pro," and I'm like, "Civ Pro, that sounds amazing," and like I never really went and asked them what it was because everyone threw it around so casually, but like I was about to ask, like, what does Civ Pro mean in Latin? Because it sounds like Latin to me for some reason, and then someone told me that it was civil procedure. I felt dumb. But then I went to class and I didn't feel dumb because it's not that like civil procedure class is like easy or anything. I'm sure it's very difficult, but it's like extremely application based where they pretty much just like walk you through what do you do in the course of what do they call it? It's like
Discovery?
the well, yeah, we're on Discovery right now, but you've got
The facts to remedies.
the
line?
facts to remedies lie, which people. I hate law school and the way they treat me because everyone just says stuff like facts to remedy all the time and like I don't know
Because
why.
we're like living in it. We don't even realize that it's a weird term
They don't take the time to explain anything. They just say stuff.
No.
And so this guy like drew a timeline and was like facts to remedy. I was like, oh cool. I thought that was like a statute or something. I didn't know what that meant. But it's literally just literally just means like from when you discover the facts about a case, not even a case. They don't call it things. They call it a fact pattern. And that was also confusing. I'm like, what is the?
Because it's not necessarily a case yet. It's just
Yeah.
someone tells you a story.
So like when you're discovering anything about anything that could be a lawsuit or something you need an attorney for, then it's like a tropical storm turns into a hurricane. It's like a fact pattern turns into, well, like any number of things that are lawyery, but something you need a lawyer for. In action.
Well, you would make it an action.
Then I moved to.
And then according to Rule 3, every civil case. I know Rule 3 is cute. The best one is Rule 1, which Rule 1 just says that.
Number 1.
Yeah, the most important rule that we all can know is that Rule 1 says that any civil rules should go towards a speedy, just, and effective outcome. That's it. That's Rule 1. So
if all of the rules kind of allow you to do that?
Yes, that's the point of all. It gives you the point of all the other rules. So that way, if you're like,
it's not a rule. It
is a rule.
That's like
no, because then if someone does something, you're like, you know what? That is not going towards speediness. Rule 1, and then maybe you'll win.
Really, like they're too slow. You're like,
I mean, kind of.
Handing the evidence in too slow.
It's not too slow. It's deleterious.
Objection, Your Honor. Rule 1 under deleteriousness.
Yes, this is a Rule 1 violation for deleteriousness.
Yeah.
You could probably do that. Actually, no, you probably can. But today we're talking about discovery, which is how it's so much fun. That's when you get, like, you request documents or you depose a witness and you're just collecting facts that you're going to then be like, boom, at trial, you like throw them at the other side. But now you're trying to figure out ahead of time what you know and what the other side knows and how to like spin it together into a case that makes that you can win.
They just gave you like the tools that you use to do that.
Yeah, they're the formal tools of discovery.
Tools. One is interrogatory.
Yes.
And that is simply sending someone a written statement, not a written statement, it's a written questionnaire.
Yeah.
Where you just ask them like simple questions to get general details that you can use to hang them with later.
Yeah.
And
give us the names of all your employees and also their phone numbers and also their addresses. Thanks.
And then there's a deposition, which I learned is part of discovery, and that's when you actually sit down with your client and the opposing counsel, and you do stuff face to face. And then there was like a bunch of there was like another one that was like for sending documents and requesting documents.
Yeah, that's a request of documents or things. So
that's what it's called.
Yes.
It's like, Your Honor, when I was requesting for documents and things, we discovered, and then you're like, present it.
And one of the people in class suggested like Terzian, I think it was Miss Terzian, Nina Terzian. Shout out to Nina.
They call everyone by their last name.
Yeah, so my first thought is Miss Terzian, but I actually know who you are, I promise. But so she's like, right. So like, couldn't we request that they send us over like couldn't we request that they like send us over a decapitated test dummy to like just have this visual of, oh yeah, they knew that this lift kit suspension for this vehicle was super dangerous, and look, we have the severed head of the crash test dummy to prove it. So that's a thing.
So that counts as a thing.
That's a thing.
I guess that it's not very limited then.
No,
there was a fourth one that you do in discovery.
There's also physical and mental examinations, but that you need court permission.
Court permission
because it's invasive.
It's quite invasive.
As opposed to asking someone to turn over all of their Facebook messages for the past 5 years, which is not invasive.
It is a non-invasive procedure.
No, that's within the scope of almost anything. Mm-hmm. And then the final thing, there's actually 5. Is request for admissions, which I don't know if I totally understand that yet, but it's basically making someone admit something, which sounds like you could also do that through an interrogatory, except the interrogatories are more limited, so maybe that's why you would do an admission instead.
Okay, but it's not like admissions, like admitting something into evidence, because you're not going to
trial. No. This is just like, do you admit that it was raining? Yeah. I think.
You admit that it was raining.
I mean, that could come up. Are we going to contest it, or are we going to stipulate that it was raining, so we don't have to waste time? And then when the witness gets up and starts lying about how it was sunny, you can be like, you're wrong. So that's what that's used for.
That was cool. And then they talked about the ways to object to what someone's asking you for, the information they're asking you for.
You can object, but it's not
and like all these like decision trees based off of that. Like if you object, then they're going to file a what was it?
A motion. Well, if you're
A
objecting, that you
motion
don't have
to
to submit
compel
it. Yes, compel evidence.
where it's like, no, you can't object to that. You have to say this. You have to tell us what we want you to say. And
But then it goes to the judges, and they're like, "I'm too important to get involved in this discovery dispute. You figured it out yourselves," and so then they might get mad and sanction you.
yeah, that professor's funny. He
He's
just like
so funny.
reminds everyone. It's hilarious. But
Yeah.
like
He pretended to
the
cry.
moral of the
but too
story
bad.
really is that it's like all the stuff we're learning about the stuff you do pre-trial is that the judges hate it and they don't want you to bring it up. So you better figure it out before court, because if you do, it's going to be a major waste of their time. Yeah. But my favorite part was that they some of the options are like less ethical than others, where it's like you have to decide what type of law you're gonna do. I can't talk. But the professor was emphatic that you don't have to edit that out. this is that real.
Sure.
The professor was saying that you can choose how like basically ethical you want to be, and just say what type of lawyer do I want to be, and like how do I want to be known.
I'm glad you picked up on that, because I think he only said it once in this class, but he said it like 2 or 3 times ever in the class.
So then it was pretty great. So like afterwards, Gabby was doing her teacher's pet thing where she like asks a question from the professor and then ends up spending half an hour talking to them, which she says is a normal occurrence. So that probably is gonna like be equivalent to like 7 or 8 classes, multiple class periods by the end of the year or semester or whatever. So I'm like, wow, I guess that works then. But while that was happening, there was a fire alarm, so we had to leave outside, and then this one like groundskeeper person like yelled at us and told us like, hey, you
didn't leave enough.
Like you need to go outside of the building, like outside of the entryway, because the fire department needs to be able to get in there. So we like moved outside the entryway, and we're standing in like a plaza, and then like 15 minutes later they come back, they're like, no, seriously, you need to go like way behind that fence. And then we're like, okay, so we're walking away, and then this other classmate comes over and was like yelling at the professor, like, hey, what type of lawyer do you want to be? And he was like, at first he was like, and then he was like, and then like walked away.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny, but it was a good conversation, and we learned critical information about the exams that I'm sure.
The main thing I feel like I got out of it, just for any of you fellow law students who decided to listen to like 18 plus minutes of me talking, this is like a nugget for you.
We're gonna edit some of this out.
Maybe. Anyway, is that so in our other classes that are more based on case laws and not on rules, and you get these like points where it's like, okay, what is, I don't know, what's reasonable? This is obviously reasonable, this is obviously unreasonable, my current facts like lie somewhere here, so I'm going to argue this or argue that or whatever. But we're given those data points is what Professor Main calls them. And then so we just had to memorize them and then know how to apply them. With Civ Pro, you're not really given data points, you're just given rules and then not told how they apply to different data points. But Professor Main says, look, you can come up with your own, like we did with the Krusty T Frog example, where we figured out the same transaction or occurrence is super similar in this one case, but it's super different because this other thing is like, we made this hypothetical about someone being on Mars and like punching someone, which has nothing to do with the original case. And we're like, that's okay. Mars is different. And so it's like, you just make up your own data points on the exam and then take the facts and be like, see, this is how that works. I hope that made sense to you. If not, you could bug you about tomorrow. But it was useful, I think, for the exam in December.
So are there any closing thoughts that you have on the week?
Just that I love you a lot.
Thank you.
I'm glad that you're here.
I don't know what that was.
I was trying to...
Yeah.
Do you have any closing thoughts?
I like Las Vegas. I like law school. I even like torts. I just don't want to do them every day for the rest of my life.
I'll see you back home. I miss you. I don't know if he does because he just saw you, most of you. And to all my friends here, he might miss you, but he doesn't really know you, so.
I miss the relationship that could be.
The potential.
I don't know how to describe that legally.
The potential. The latent relationship?
The latent relationship. And what's that thing when you're suing someone for emotional damages?
Emotional distress?
No, not emotional.
Intentional
no, based off of
distress?
relations. Like
Consortium.
Like it's some form of that.
mean, that'd be hard.
Hypothetical
Like
consortium.
latent consortium.
Latent consortium
Yeah.
disorder. That's what I have. It's real bad. Or at least it could be. I don't know.
But it's latent, so we don't know.
We don't know. All right.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.